The economy is going down the drain and AI is going to take your job. How's that for an intro? You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. In today's video, we are going to talk about just that. 2024 is going to be one that people remember. If you thought 2023 was interesting, 2024 is going to be next level. I'm going to tell you why here today. Now, I know saying AI is going to take your job triggers a lot of people because they think, I won't be replaced by AI. But let me tell you, companies are actively looking to do it. Now, it's going to come in stages and there's going to be different degrees of it. What are they telling people? Well, number one, companies like IBM are saying AI is going to replace the jobs that we would have hired people for. So they're not hiring new people. Hey, if we can eliminate that new position and instead just put we're going to hire 10 more people, let's say. No. Now we're not going to hire those 10 people. AI is going to be those new positions. They're actively going for it. Other companies like Duolingo, I covered in the previous video, they are saying we are now going to, instead of hire those contract workers, we're going to just use AI. It's better. Okay. And we're at the beginning of it. On and on. So we know that, we see that. But there's also like a big learning curve. There's companies that are trying things, it's not really working, it's not coming overnight. So we got to understand the stages. Buckle up for the bumpy 2024, according to economists, inflation, interest rates, tight housing supply, and an election year. Analysts are divided on which direction the economy will shake out this year. Even Jamie Dimon is in this article, basically saying that, look, things are not so strong, but let's not get too carried away. Basically, what he was talking about was the sugar high, as he calls it. You throw out the stimulus there. That's why things were doing well, but now that's not really there anymore. And so economy is going to look a little rough. That's what he's saying. I do believe that the economy is not as strong as they say it is. You've got unemployment rates that don't match up with real unemployed people. You've got people having multiple jobs. Inflation is definitely much higher than willing to admit. You and I know it. But what's going on right now is that if things get to a point in which they're doing quantitative tightening or stopping the quantitative tightening, and they're stopping with their policies of increasing interest rates, which it looks likely that they are, then of course things can turn the other way around. We know that it's only a matter of time before they start doing quantitative easing, printing money, fiscal easing of some sort, like giving cash to people, because as they say, it's an election year. They want to boost things up. And of course, printing money, helicopter money from the skies, who knows? So keep this in mind as we talk about the rest of the video, but this is an interesting one from Goldman Sachs. 1/4 of current work tasks could be automated by AI in the US and Europe. Wow. I mean, just think about that. Really, really shocking. Now, it depends. Sliding scale here, right? When we look at this, construction being 6%, probably the management. You look at it on the other end of it, though, 46% office and administrative support, legal 44%, and so on. So if you could zoom in on that, you could pause it if you need to. But looking at this, one by one, we are going to see industries being completely disrupted by artificial intelligence. It's already coming in. New companies are coming through each and every day. A lot of it's not good. A lot of it is garbage. But there are some good ones. And those are the ones that will persevere. And those ones will be eliminating jobs. Of course, some will have new jobs, because if you're working for OpenAI, you're doing really well. But the vast majority of people are not. So we're talking about offshoring jobs, certainly. That has happened. But a lot of those people will be eliminated by artificial intelligence. Leaders from industries. And by the way, if you don't think that it's going to happen, look, I paid a company $1,000, okay, to do something for my business. $1,000, basically writing copy. And the results, and this is a well recommended company, the results, in my opinion, were horrible. ChatGPT did a much better job, much better. And I'm not even mincing words. I mean, it's much better. That $1,000 I paid was garbage in compared. Okay? No names, but company I would not recommend. Leaders from industries surveyed with at least 50 respondents say layoffs are likely the following rates: construction 66%, software 65%, information 44%, retail 44%, and so on. And basically, they're just saying, hey, this year we are going to be laying off. The economy is not as strong as it was, and so on. If you increase interest rates, mortgage rates too high, so on and so forth. Look, if the construction is going down in some way, we're in big trouble because we need more houses. We need that right now. We need them to be available, whether it's coming from one thing or another, whether brand new construction or vacancies start to increase, and then people can move into those places. I don't know, but we need more. All right. Because certain areas, there just isn't enough. And that is creating the rental market is just so crazy hot. It's unbelievable. A lot of areas with super low vacancies, but the prices are just so high, unaffordable, truly unaffordable. They talk about AI in here as well. Citigroup layoffs loom as the financial giant makes some of the most drastic changes in years. This is a full list of U.S. companies slashing staff from Hasbro to Amazon. So I looked through this list just to see, and you'll recognize many of the names in here. Hasbro's cutting 20% of its workforce. Spotify, 1,500 employees. Looking at Citigroup, hundreds of jobs, and so on and so forth. Okay, so Toronto's downtown office vacancy hits a record with more supply. Vacancy rate in the city's core rose to 17% in the fourth quarter. And so this is a problem. This is a big issue because there's so many jobs here. I know this myself because these towers, by the way, were completely empty in 2020. Underneath Toronto, there's something called PATH, P-A-T-H. And under there is basically an underground city, all right? The whole thing, there's I forget how big it is. There's a number, but it's massive. Understand that it's massive. Every store you could ever imagine. You got banks, you got food, you got clothing, anything you can think of is under the ground. All of that in 2020 completely shut down. Completely shut down. Now it's moving better. There's no question, because a lot of people are back to work. But the vacancies, they're not getting filled. They're not getting filled, and of course that puts pressure on all of these industries. Everybody from those working in PATH all the way up the top, okay? Because there's, you need those people there. Those are consumers. Those are customers. Not happening. The growth isn't there. Commercial real estate is a big problem. This is U.S. office vacancy rates. This is nationally, okay? At 19.6%. When we look at that city to city level, actually it's much worse. It's much worse than that, but a lot of companies are saying, come back to work. You better come back to work. Goldman Sachs analyst says that the world is moving into a new super cycle. Okay, he's saying it's positive, it's a good thing. And artificial intelligence and decarbonization are two key factors that could have a positive impact during this new cycle. What I would say about artificial intelligence is that this is clearly beneficial for those working in the industry. And what has been said otherwise is, look, AI, if you're doing a task where you're just turning a knob all day, they can make artificial intelligence, a program, not artificial intelligence, but they can create a program to do that automatically, or the thing that it does to just make it happen on the back end. They could program that. You don't need to be sitting there turning a knob. That's not for you. You need to be creative. Okay, you need to have multiple sources of income. You can't do this kind of stuff because it's going to be replaced. So what they say is, no, you'll do other stuff that we can't do with robots yet. You'll do that stuff. I think they'll just lay people off. But anyway, and at the same time, decarbonization, I don't know how they're talking about that. I mean, they say that it's going to create jobs and so on. I think, I have a difference of opinion, and I want to know what you think. Decarbonization, does it create jobs, or does it actually just bring us into a brave new world, into a Hunger Games scenario, into a world in which they are going to make us pay more and get less. Is that what it's all about? I'll talk about that in a future video. If you want to know the latest and greatest information, I've got it for you. It's what I call the Money GPS Live. This is something that each and every Friday and Sunday I get into with people. They have the absolute top-notch stuff you can find. All the details are at the link in the description. Look, I got to ask you something. Do you leave before giving a thumbs up? I hope not. Give me that thumbs up. It does support the channel, and it lets others know that this is a good video. So when you do that, you're supporting me. I want to thank you for it. And one last thing. Tomorrow, where will you be? Right here at the Money GPS. I hope you join me. See you then. Take care.